Martinsville Bulldogs and the Magna Vista Warriors. And a good return as number 5, Ron Foster, carries it out across the 40 to the 45. And Don, again, for those who aren't familiar with it, tell us how Magna Vista came about.
Again, this is a situation where two schools, Drury Mason and G.W. Carver, actually became middle schools, and the new high school was built. That was Magna Vista, and their program has been extremely successful, and the rivalry continues.
Indeed it does, and there is a handoff going straight ahead, driving up across the 45 out to about the 47, 48-yard line are the Magna Vista Warriors. They have a fine running back in number 33 that you'll want to catch. That's B.J. Jumper. He's a 5'8", 220-pound junior who came into this game at 956 yards. He just gained about 4 there, so he is 40 yards away from reaching the 1,000-yard mark, and he averages 7.1 a carry.
Well, looking at that frame, being 5'8" and weighing 220, he's got a lot of explosiveness, and we expect to see big things from him tonight.
Alexei Hairston is the quarterback, hands that one off to Tim Valentine, and Valentine will get across, or no, that was Via with a carry, and Via drives across midfield into Bulldog territory at the 49-yard line.
Let's remember, they got an excellent kickoff return. They've run the ball twice. They're in third and about 2.5, so this is a big situation for them to take this opening drive on Martinsville home turf and possibly get some great field position and hopefully put one on the board.
Here we go, 3rd and 3. And there isn't much at all right there. That defense, which is a good one, with the folks like Broughton Mills, Troy Burnett, Ronnie Lovett, Hammond Walred, Douglas Dunbar, then Gerald Bowen, Scott Oliver, Maurice Hamilton, Rache Waller, and Andre Hairston and Jay Carter all do a great job on this defense, and it is 4th down. So on to do the punting will be number 14. That is Carrington Dillon. Carrington Dillon averages 37.5 yards every time he punts the football for this Magna Vista team. And back deep is number 34 for the Martinsville Bulldogs, and that is Sean Wade, and the football will be blown dead at the 19-yard line, so that's where Martinsville will take over 1st and 10.
One interesting aspect of the playoff system as it stands, Dave, is that so many times, just like we see throughout the area tonight, you have teams playing who have played previously this year. And in the first game between the two, Martinsville did defeat Magna Vista. Martinsville's coming in at 9-1, Magna Vista at 8-2. But a lot of coaches think that after you've played somebody one time, that the second time, the team that lost the first time has the advantage. But Coach Taylor Edwards' defense seemed to have a lot of confidence in stopping that 3rd down play.
There with a carry and driving all the way to the 30-yard line is Sean Wade. We might mention tonight the referee is Ernie Brad. The umpire is John Cheek. Alan Mitchell is your line judge. Linesman is George Bell. Bryant Ferguson, your back judge. Mark Hairston is your field judge. And Ron Epperly is our clock operator.
We've had Ernie Brad so much this year that he's going to be looking for some type of award. Do we give out Emmys or anything?
Well, he might, what he's going to be expecting is some kind of kickback, get some money for personal appearances. But he's done a great job, as he does all the time. There is running room, and it breaks down very quickly. That's Rache Waller, and Waller drives back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for this Martinsville Bulldog football team.
That play didn't look good from the beginning, and I have to think maybe that Rache missed a handoff and ended up back about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, surrounded by silver jerseys. So something didn't go right on that one. So they need to make a big play because they're in 2nd and long.
Ball is resting at the 30. It's 2nd down and 10 for this Bulldog football team. There's a little flare pass, 35, gets the first down to the 40 and drives out to the 44-yard line. Before he is ridden down, that's number 8, Ronte Gamble, on the gain, and he is knocked down by Travis Flanagan, but not before he gets a good gain and first down yardage to the 42. So on a long play, they end up getting the 12 yards in the first down.
One thing you can be assured of when you watch the Martinsville Bulldogs, that's the fact they're going to play great defense and they're going to make a lot of mistakes. But one thing that always stands out, they always have great speed.
No question about it. There is Wade, and Wade will drive across the 45 to the 46. That defense for the football team out of Magna Vista, B.J. Jumper, Chris Shelton, Tony Redd, and Corey Robertson, Derek Thomas, Ron Foster, Justin Garnes, and Brandon Vi, your linebackers, and then your defensive backfield, Alexei Harrison, Bucky Mann, and Travis Flanagan. They will have a good gain on first down of 4 yards, so it's 2nd and 6, the ball at the 46-yard line in Martinsville territory. Magna Vista had the football, unable to get much going, punted the football away, and now the Bulldogs are moving with it. There's Rache Waller. Waller going to run and going to be ridden down by number 72, who did a whale of a job. That's Corey Robertson, the 6'3", 263-pound junior, and he just lassoed him down and brought him down for a loss back to the 45-yard line, and it will be 3rd and long.
Coach Beckelheimer uses a 4-man front, and when you look at B.J. Jumper at 5'8", 220, Chris Shelton, 6 foot 265, Tony Redd, 6'2", 280, and Corey Robinson, 6'3", 263, you see the reason behind that.
3rd and long. Here is Waller going to throw, got his man, got him at the 45, drives to the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. So another big 3rd down conversion. That time it was completed to Maurice Hamilton, and Hamilton, the 190-pound senior, gets first down yardage all the way down to the 37-yard line in Magna Vista territory.
That time Rache rolled out, and he picked up great protection from his offensive line, but his speed got him to the outside in time for the receiver to break open, and he threw that one just perfectly, and shows a lot of pizzazz back there as a passer as well as a field general.
Mike Harris, Josh Cahill, Troy Burnett, Hamilton Walred, and Hunter Altes around that offensive line there with a gain and not much going. Waller was knocked down by Ron Foster, the 5'9", 190-pound senior, who into this game had 105 tackles for this Magna Vista football team.
And that tells you that they just turned him loose that time, because Foster is a linebacker. He saw the opening between the center and guard, shot the gap, and was able to get Rache before he was able to make any kind of move. So that's the kind of play that a good defense has to make in order to stop a drive.
So it is a loss of about a yard. It's 2nd and 11. The ball inside the Magna Vista 40. Here goes Waller, going to throw long. Got a man out there. It is incomplete. He was intending it over there for Sean Wade, but it is incomplete. Coverage over by the defensive backfield over there, Travis Flanagan. So that will bring on a 3rd and 11.
Something interesting about the Martinsville offensive line, and that's the fact center Troy Burnett, right guard Hamilton Warren, Hunter Altus at right tackle, and Ronte Gamble, the split end. All of those guys are seniors on the right side. And then you go to the left side, Josh Cahill, Mike Harris, and Courtney DeShazo. All of them are juniors. So you got the juniors on one side and seniors on the other. And the good news for Coach Edwards is he's got half of that offensive line back.
Well, they only reload here, it seems, at Martinsville. I got to tell you, they're always in the hunt. And look at that. And that's Waller going to be wrestled down by Ron Foster. And then coming in to help finish him off was number 51, Chris Shelton. And so they stop him at the 46, and that'll bring on 4th down, and it will be punting time. And the young man that does the punting this year for this Martinsville football team is Hamilton Walred. So the Magna Vista Warriors will get the football back. And if you can believe it, we have already played 6.5 minutes of this first quarter. There's a punt. It's going to come down, and it will be taken by Magna Vista inside the 20 at the 15, and nowhere to run for number 4, Derek Thomas. And Thomas gets up close to the 20-yard line where he is met by those special teams. And so as offense goes for Magna Vista, defense for Martinsville. We'll be back right after we take this commercial timeout. I had to get that in, buddy, because we didn't have the open, okay? All right, come on back. We are back to action here. Here come the Magna Vista Warriors with the football, and driving across to about the 18-yard line is Brandon Vi. He is knocked down, and not a tremendous amount of running room there because they lose 2 yards back to the 18, so it'll be 2nd down and 12. This is an incredibly fast-moving first quarter because, of course, both of these teams very few in terms of not any penalties, and then not any out-of-bounds plays. They're just running that football, trying to get something going, trying to go up the middle are the Warriors, and they get back to that original line of scrimmage, but the defensive forward wall did a great job. Via carries it, doesn't get much, and Troy Burnett, the 6'3", 250-pound senior, who is a tremendously gifted defensive ball player, does the job and does it well. So now it is 3rd and 10 for Magna Vista. The Warriors with the football, and no score here as we have played 8 minutes of this first quarter. There with it is quarterback Hairston, going to throw, got a man, and did he catch it? He juggled it, number 9, with that reception. That's DJ Preston, and apparently he did, but of course it's short of the first down. It is 4th down. But Alexei Hairston able to team up with Preston, and it is a gain out to the 25, but it will be 4th down, and we'll call it 4 for the first down. So on in to do the punting once again will be Carrington Dillon, and Dillon with Sean Wade back will be the man to do the job here. Dillon averages 37.5 per punt, gets off a pretty good one. It comes down to Wade, backs him up at the 42, breaks it to the 45, and stopped at the 47. Good coverage down there by DJ Preston, and so they knock him down at the 47-yard line, and it is 1st and 10. They'll mark it actually at the 48. That's where Martinsville will take over for the second time. No score in this game between these two rivals out of the Piedmont District, which of course has produced so many outstanding football players through the years. And when you think of Martinsville, the youngsters like Sean Moore, and you think of Nicky Fisher and so many others, Sonny Wade, who've played here. This is a great football program, and Magna Vista in its short amount of years has done a good job. In fact, one of the mainstays on special teams up at the University of Virginia is Alex Seals, who played at Magna Vista. Jameis Martin, of course, who played at Martinsville, he is now at Marshall. So there have been a lot of youngsters who go on and play college football.
How about Ricky Scales?
That's another one. Boy, in fact, I think he just got inducted into the Virginia Tech Hall of Fame. So, like I say, they produce them in this area. They are a great football tradition right here. With the penalty, the offsides, it's now 1st and 5, and Martinsville has it in Magna Vista territory. There goes running room, and driving across the 45 down to the 43, that was number 20, Douglas Dunbar, the 212-pound senior. And so it'll bring on a 2nd and short, a 2nd and 2. And, Don, if you can believe it, we have already played better than 9 minutes of the first quarter.
Believe it, I can. And, you know, you look at it, this field, and you think about this game and all that it means. And, you know, out on that field tonight is not any place to be cute. Everything is all business. It's not nobody being cute in any way. They're just going right at each other. Because
there is no tomorrow. The loser goes home. The winner goes on to meet the winner of the Richlands-Marion game. There's a penalty marker down as Rache Waller was knocked down by number 70, Tony Red, and Red stopped him. But the penalty marker came down, and if it's against Martinsville, of course, Magna Vista will decline that probably, and it'll be 3rd and about 5. He got in there so fast, that may be a holding call because somebody might try to reach out and grab him because he was through there like a shot. And in doing so, if it's a 10-yard, there it is holding. And that's really what happened. He got such a good jump on that offensive lineman. When the offensive lineman knew he couldn't block him, he reached out to grab him. And that's when the official, the umpire threw that. So I thought it might be a hold. So it is, and the penalty moves the football all the way back to Martinsville territory, and it is at the 43, and it brings on 2nd, and they need 14 for the first down. Here's Rache Waller. Waller going to throw. Got a man out there. Fires it up and incomplete. Intended over there for number 8, Ronte Gamble. And good defensive coverage by Travis Flanagan, the 6'2 defensive back, as he goes up with the receiver there, Ronte Gamble. It is incomplete, so that'll bring on 3rd and long.
That's the way you play pass defense. You think the man's wide open, and when the ball's in the air, those defensive backs react. The minute it touched the receiver's hands, pow! That defensive back, Flanagan, was right there, delivered the blow, and the ball went awry.
It certainly did. So now it brings on a 3rd down. It is 3rd and 14 for the Martinsville Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs don't like what they see, so they're going to call a timeout, it appears. And
how would you like 3rd and 14?
I wouldn't. Well, they're going to discuss it, and as they discuss it, we will take a break here with a score. The Martinsville Bulldogs, nothing. The Magna Vista Warriors, nothing. We're back right after this. Okay, hey, buddy, come on back here, and I'm going to read a Willie and Ruth's, okay? So just take sort of a wide shot of the field, and I'm going to read something about that, all right? And we welcome you back, and we're pleased to have with us one of our sponsors, Willie and Ruth's Place, who supports the Bulldogs of Martinsville High School. They are locally owned. They have delicious down-home cooking, breakfast at 7:30 to 10 a.m., lunch served 10:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. They have takeout orders, special orders. You can call area code 276-6700-7500. They're good people to do business with. Willie and Ruth's, located at 6 Wall Street, Uptown Martinsville. All right, another penalty marker comes down, and illegal procedure. So now 3rd and 14's just gone to 3rd and 19.
What happened there is one of the offensive linemen moved ahead of time, and we talked about this officiating crew for a moment, but when an officiating crew has an opportunity to work a playoff game, that means they've done a tremendous job all year. And of course, we've seen Ernie, and we've seen Mark Hairston throughout the year. But one thing about it, this crew looks like they're top flight, and they hope to put forth a great performance tonight and maybe continue on in the playoffs and get the opportunity to work again.
One other thing, Don, before this next play, you like this press box, don't you?
Absolutely wonderful.
All right, here goes the little flare pass out there, and that isn't going to get anything. Waller completed it to number 8, Ronte Gamble, and Ronte Gamble gets basically nothing, so that'll bring on 4th down, and the Martinsville Bulldogs will have to punt the football away to the Magna Vista Warriors.
With 3rd and 19, that was a gamble in itself, throwing the gamble, because of the fact it was a very small gamble. And that's the fact. We throw it out to the side, we get one-on-one, maybe we make a break. But if we don't, we haven't lost anything, and we'll punt it and bring our defense out. So
they will punt the football away. In to do it is Walred, and he gets off a high spiral, and a fair catch is caught for it back there at the 25 by the Magna Vista Warriors. Making that fair catch was number 7, Bucky Mann. So the Magna Vista Warriors will take over, and in a very, very quickly moving first quarter, we have 1:20 left in this first quarter. No score, as both teams have had opportunities on offense and defense, but not doing much thus far. And so now Magna Vista will go back on offense. And once again, as we mentioned, one of the guys you want to watch for them is B.J. Jumper. Jumper with 960 yards, so he is closing in on 1,000 yards rushing for the season, and averages over 7 yards a carry. Somebody jumped for the Warriors, got a little bit over anxious, and as he did, the penalty marker came down, so that will cost them 5 and make it, instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 15. A lot of intensity on the field, and sometimes the kids are a little over anxious. But been watching this offense of Coach Beckelheimer since this is the first time we've seen them. I've seen 3 different sets. I've seen a wishbone set. I've seen a straight eye formation with all 3 backs behind the quarterback. That's what you call the true eye. And then that way, that time they were lined up in a wing T. So he just certainly uses a multiple offense and tries to give that defense a lot of different looks. So now it will be 1st and 15. As we say, the football is back at the 20 now. Here goes Jumper, and Jumper's going nowhere as he was corralled down. No, that was not Jumper. That was Via, number 21, as he was met very, very quickly. Number 9, and I tell you, I remember him from a year ago, Maurice Hamilton. That kid is a tremendous football player.
When you play the Bulldogs, you better have some misdirection plays, because if you noted then, there were at least 4 tacklers around that ball carrier. They really run to that football, so if you've got misdirection, sometimes that's the best medicine for it, but again, you've got to execute it.
So now it is a loss back inside the 20-yard line. The quarterback, Hairston's going to throw. Got his man. That's Jumper. Jumper breaks a tackle and gets the first down, it looks like, across the 35 out to about the 38-yard line before he is hauled down defensively there by number 29, Gerald Bowen. But give a good pass play from Hairston as he was able to hit B.J. Jumper, and maybe we'll see that one on the replay.
I hope we do, because it was excellent play action. You see the quarterback fake one way and then sort of bootleg the ball in time to give Jumper time to get open. He goes right up the seam, perfectly thrown pass, and when you put the pigskin under his arm, he certainly knows what to do with it.
He certainly does, and that time he gains good yardage. Here's a little flanker screen to the 40, to the 45, down to about the 47. That was number 7 on that reception, Bucky Mann, and Bucky Mann drives it out across the 45. They'll mark it at the 47. And it is a good gain of about 8 yards, and that will be the end of this first quarter. So 1 quarter is complete here at Dan Green Memorial Stadium, and it's the Bulldogs of Martinsville nothing, Magna Vista nothing. We're back with second quarter action right after this. No, next week is the semifinal. Oh, no, semifinal in the yeah. Yeah, let's, we'll do that. Oh, Don, the reason I had to do it, they had a problem with the tape, so we might redo the open at halftime. Just so
Let's do that.
Yeah, okay, that'll be good. We'll just redo it at halftime. We'll just redo it at halftime on another tape. So, and listen, next I'm going to do, and he'll hear me say it, not right now, but next time out we'll do First Federal Savings and Loan, okay? All right, come on back. And we welcome you back here at Martinsville as the winner of tonight's game will meet the Richlands Marion winner in the next round of the playoffs. Of course, a number of high school football playoffs around the region. Just down the road, GW Danville playing Garfield, Salem and Blacksburg, just to name a few. There goes Brandon Via, and Via got the first down across midfield, and they cross into the Martinsville Bulldog territory. They'll give him forward motion to the 48, so it will be a gain of about 4, but it gives them the first down in Martinsville territory.
And that time you saw a little bit of misdirection, because the quarterback faked to the fullback right up the middle and then handed off to the halfback on a crossbuck series, and he got it to the outside. And this wing tee really looks good as being a big part of their offense.
Well, Magna Vista gets some running room as they drive for a couple yards. Not much in the middle of that defense. Troy Burnett was there. Gerald Bowen was there as B.J. Jumper carries the football. Give him 2, and it'll be second down and 8 for the Warriors at the 48-yard line in Martinsville High territory.
Let's remember, when they run that wing tee and that wing back is in tight, they always have the possibility of running that double handoff that Pulaski runs so well. So let's see if that's going to be part of the offense tonight.
Here we go. There's some running room, and then not much as they stop the ball carrier pretty much in his tracks. Once again, it's Via. And number 63, Broughton Miles, was right there to stop him for a short gain. They will give him a yard, so now it's 3rd and 7 at the 47 in Bulldog territory.
Watching the way Magna Vista performs, I don't think they are very much of a passing team, maybe only throwing maybe 7 or 8 passes a game. So the Bulldogs have them in a 3rd and long here. Expect to see some pressure put on the passer.
Here goes the quarterback, going to throw, and it's intercepted. Here we go to the 40, to the 30, and knocked down and out of bounds. That was number 34 on that interception, Sean Wade, and Wade carries the football all the way down inside the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 21 in Magna Vista territory.
The way Sean played that one, I'm not so sure he didn't know the play call. Watch him wait till right the perfect moment, jumps right in front of that receiver, and really it was just as if he knew exactly where they were going with the football, and was he ready.
What a job he did. Sean Wade with that interception, and a beautifully executed interception. Now the Bulldogs are in great shape. As you can see, this great crowd here at Dan Green Stadium. 1st and 10 at the Magna Vista 21-yard line. So the first big break of this game. There's running room, and they will drive inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. With the carry was number 9, Maurice Hamilton, and he was met in there by that defense. Foster was the first to meet him, and then had some help also from Tony Redd. They bring him down for a gain of 4, however, and it brings on 2nd and 6. They have moved to the 17 in Magna Vista territory.
Right now they're in 4-down territory should they so desire, but they'll be satisfied to pick up 3 yards on a couple more plays and try to keep the drive going.
And there is running room as he drives up to about the 15. That was Waller, and Waller gets very little. That middle of the defense again was right there to bring him down. Chris Shelton, Ron Foster stop him, give him a couple. It'll be 3rd, and they need to get to the 11, so it's 3rd and 4 with a ball at the 15 of Magna Vista.
This time you'll see them spread the field a little bit and try to open some things up. They go into a wishbone attack. You could possibly see an option here.
All right, there's a handoff. Going straight ahead is number 34. That's Sean Wade again. Of course, Wade is the young man who leads this team in rushing, 749 yards coming in, 8.8 per carry. And as he drives across that 15, they will mark it at about the 13, so that'll bring on 4th, and we'll call it 2.
I get a kick out of watching Coach Edwards send those plays in, because he walks out there and brings that quarterback over to him, and as tense as he is, if I was a quarterback, I might be shaking a little bit, because he's an intense coach, and he wants them to do things right, and he's really into the game. They drew him off sides.
Great job there. Yeah, that's one of those things you don't want to come back to the sideline if things don't go exactly right, because Coach Edwards is going to make sure you do it right, and he did exactly what they wanted to do, as Waller, with that different count probably, drew the offsides. So they get the first down, they get the 5 yards, and now it's 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
That part of the field, you try that. If it doesn't work and your team moves, you get penalized 5 yards. It doesn't hurt you as far as the field goal situation. So that was a great call on Coach Edwards' part.
Okay, there's a handoff to Wade. Wade breaks one tackle, breaks another, drives, and not quite in. Good effort by Wade, but they were able to keep him out of that end zone. That defense smothered him. Brandon Via was there, Corey Robertson, but give him a great gain, and so it will be 2nd down and goal at the 1. There goes Waller, and I'm not sure. I don't think he got in there. Number 70 really jammed him up. That's Tony Redd. Also had some help from 72, Corey Robertson. So it will be 3rd and goal.
I'm not so sure there wasn't confusion on that play, because Rache turned it around as if to hand to one of the running backs to run the power play off tackle, and all of a sudden he ended up with the ball and headed for the goal line, but it wasn't a real smooth-looking play, and, just somehow or another you feel like Sean Wade should end up with that football, making that effort, because he brought it down here and he almost took it in, so let's see if they go back to him.
So now it will be a 3rd and goal. There's Sean Wade, and Wade is going to be smothered down there. Boy, great penetration by number 11, Justin Garnes, the 205-pound junior. And so they stop him once again at that 1-yard line, so it will be 4th and goal.
The thinking here is we want to put this thing in the end zone. We want to establish a big lead, watch them possibly going on a long count again, and also it's a fact that if they hold you, they've still got to run the ball out of their end zone.
Yeah, and there's exactly what you don't want to have happen. little over anxiousness there, no question about it. And Josh Cahill started to move a little too quick, so now it will bring on, it looks like, the field goal team.
What's the old saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander? Because that time, I think Coach Edwards is planning to go with the long count again, and that time one of his linemen jumped. So, again, the 5-yard penalty is not going to do them a great deal of harm as far as the field goal situation is concerned. They'll be kicking it from the 13, so you're looking at about a 23-yard field goal.
This is Tommy Vasella, and he will get it out of the hold of Jay Carter. Here's the kick. It is up, and it is good. So they get the field goal, and the Martinsville Bulldogs draw first here and make it 3-0.
I wonder if that field goal kicker saw the movie Tommy Boy, because he's Tommy Boy tonight.
Well, he did the job and did it with a great flair, and so the Martinsville Bulldogs draw first. It's Martinsville 3 and Magna Vista nothing. We're back right after this. Okay, hey, Lacey, after another play or so, I'm going to go to that First Federal, okay, just so you know. All right, come on back. And we are back here at Dan Green Memorial Stadium as the Martinsville Bulldogs draw first. It's 3-0.
Dave, give Sean Wade and Martinsville credit. They took advantage of that interception there. They ran 8 plays there, but one thing I'm noticing about Martinsville, they've had possession 3 times now, and each time they're holding the ball right around 4 minutes each time. And we talked about earlier how quick that first quarter went, so that means Magna Vista is not going to get that ball that many times, so they're going to have to definitely take advantage when they do get that ball.
All right, Douglas Dunbar will kick this off. And now he gets it off. It goes down at about the 20. It's bobbled there, then picked back up to the 25, to the 30, to the 35. He's to the 40 and out to the 42-yard line. That's number 5, once again, Ron Foster, who on the opening kickoff had a tremendous return. And on that one, he does as well. We do want to remind you that, remember, First Federal Savings and Loan of Martinsville supports the Bulldogs of Martinsville High School. Who let the dogs out, as they say? Invest with the leaders. First Federal Savings and Loan. They have passbook savings, money market deposit accounts, certificate of deposits, 6 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 year, and mortgage and investment loans. That's 25 West Church Street in Martinsville, or give them a call at 638-8771. Member FDIC. First Federal Savings and Loan of Martinsville. All right, there is not much at all as they drive, and as a fumble maybe.
It's some bad news that time for the Warriors, because they ran the power off tackle and it was plugged up right at the hole, and apparently somebody got a shot at that ball and knocked it loose, and it was clearly a fumble. So what else could Martinsville look for than to put 3 on the board and then have the take over with great field position on the opponent's 43?
Boy, indeed they do. Now they're at the Magna Vista 43, exactly what Coach Joe Beckelheimer did not want to see happen. His football team turn it over again. This is their second turnover, and the last time they paid for it on the field goal, and that's how the Martinsville Bulldogs have the 3-0 lead. So Rache Waller and this Martinsville High School offense will try and get something going right here. Here goes running room for Wade. Wade's to the 40, and Wade is ridden out of bounds right there. Number 21 did the job, and that was Via. And he is stopped at about the 39-yard line, so it is a gain of 4 and brings on 2nd and 6.
A lot of folks watching might wonder, was that a penalty because of the fact that the ball carrier was actually thrown down out of bounds? But what happens is, once you make that contact on the field of play and you finish them off, they're not going to penalize you for it. But if he had been on that sideline, actually on that chalk, and got slung down, I like that word, slung, that's when you use slang, when you slung them down, and that is, they would have called it.
Now, somebody was trying to get off the field and on, and so a penalty marker comes down, and this one will go against the Bulldogs. There you can see the illegal procedure. So it will move the football back 5 yards, and now it'll be back to about 2nd and 10.
Are you going to reprimand me for using that slung?
No, you can sling it any way you want, because you usually do anyway, and that's what we certainly appreciated about you. All right, here we go with a second down, and actually about 11 now with a 5-yard penalty. The Bulldogs of Martinsville with the football and the lead as we get inside of the 5-minute mark remaining in this first half. And boy, that is a knockdown as Sean Wade was really hit, and he was hit very hard there by number 72, Corey Robertson. And Robertson just twirled him around and said, "You're going nowhere, Mr. Wade." And so Wade loses more yardage back to the 47-yard line. So now it is 3rd and about 14 for the first down. We have seen the Bulldogs on a couple of occasions make the 3rd and long. They have to do it once again here behind quarterback Rache Waller. Waller at the controls, gets the snap, going to throw it long, pass intended there for Andre Benton, but covering over there defensively for that defense was number 8, Travis Flanagan, and Flanagan brings an incomplete pass, so that'll bring on a 4th down, and once again they'll have to punt the football away.
Number 70, Tony Red, had a lot to do with that play not working because he put a tremendous rush on the quarterback, and that young man is a not very small youngster, 6'2", 280.
You know, I want to tell you, they grow them big in these here parts. Let me clue you. There's some good running room, and driving out across the 25 out to the 30 as returning that football was Bucky Mann, and Mann will give the Warriors 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line, so that's where they will go. And as we expected, Don, this is a very fast-moving first half because both these teams run the football so much.
That they do, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. There have been a few penalties, but overall it's just rock 'em, sock 'em, good hard-nosed football, and everything has been from a level of good, clean play, so it's everything a playoff game should be.
Here we go. There's a handoff, and driving forward as he crosses the 30 out to the 31 is Via, and so it will be a short gain, about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know, this being the rivalry that it is, and with both schools in close proximity to each other, I imagine there's a little lip service going on out there on the field because these kids know each other. They play summer league parley baseball and basketball and so forth and so on. So when you have a rivalry and the kids know each other so well, it just adds a little bit more to it.
What you like to call a backyard brawl, no question about it. There's running room. And that is Via again. Via drives to about the 36-yard line. He was met there. Number 5 was not about to let him go, Jay Carter. And Carter stops him for a gain of about 6 on the play. So it'll bring on 3rd, and we'll call it a long 3 for the first down, the ball at the 37-yard line. Martinsville and Magna Vista, no score as we are winding down inside of the 3-minute mark of this first half. There goes a handoff, and driving across the 40 down to about the 41, 42-yard line, and that should be enough for the first down. Making the stop defensively there, as you can see, with 2:51 remain. That was Vi on the carry, Gerald Bowen on the stop. Don't forget, you get an opportunity. Netta's Style by Design supports the Bulldogs of Martinsville, located at 38 Franklin Street, Uptown Martinsville. Open Tuesday and Wednesday 9 to 6, Thursday and Friday 9 to 9, and Saturday 8:30 until. Also, walk-ins, licensed hairstylist, Netta's Style by Design, 38 Franklin Street in Martinsville. Glad to be a part of this telecast, and here with a pass and a completion is Vi, and my gracious, he was absolutely lathered over there by guess who, number 4, Rache Waller. And I might want to see that one. I got to tell you, that was a hit, my friend.
We've got to see that one again. And I saw something thrown out there, and it must have been the beanbag. But watch this hit right here, right now. That's welcome home.
That was Rache Waller. And give a lot of credit to Magna Vista because they were able to recover that football and get the first down, and now they have it 1st and 10 at the 48.
I bet you that receiver didn't cover it.
No, he was still looking to where he was, I think. That was a whale of a hit right there. Here goes running room to the 45, and Mann almost lost that ball as he drove inside the 45 down to the 44.
The clock does become a factor because we're less than 2 minutes, have less than 2 minutes remaining in this half, and of course Magna Vista is primarily a running team, so they're going to call timeout here to stop the clock and try to come up with the right play at the right time. And you know, they've gotten whooped around a little bit, but if they can get on the scoreboard and get a touchdown before half, they'll go in with the momentum.
We certainly will, and we'll keep it here as there is not a whole lot of time remaining in this first half, and remind you also that the Uptown Beauty Salon supports the Bulldogs of Martinsville High School, located at 24 Walnut Street in Uptown Martinsville. Always a cut above the rest. Designs by Mrs. Gloria Dillard. Competitive prices. Open on Mondays when most are closed, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday, 9 to 6. Thursday and Friday, 8 to 6 p.m. And then Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Give them a call for an appointment at 632-1417. Uptown Beauty Salon here in Martinsville. It has been a beautiful night for football, and Don, it doesn't seem possible, but I've got to tell you, this may be the best season we have ever had in our 16 years as far as from day one till thus far in terms of weather.
That it has been, and let's keep our fingers crossed because we still have a few more weeks.
You got that right. All right, here we go. There is the handoff. That is Mann. Mann will drive, and I think he got the first down on that last movement there across the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. He was met there by Sean Wade, but it is a first down, and so the Magna Vista Warriors have it 1st and 10 at the 38.
With a minute and 28 remaining, and again, we're seeing old Bucky move that ball a little bit because he's got a lot of swiftness about him. He doesn't weigh a whole lot, but he can really move those feet.
All right, there goes the quarterback, Hairston, and he's going to be ridden out of bounds. Good coverage there by Douglas Dunbar, and Dunbar stops Hairston as he rolled out, and they will lose a couple. So now the football moves back, and of course that's not as important as the time is, just a tad over a minute, and it's 2nd and 12.
Yeah, but Alexei did a great job because the play wasn't going anywhere, and he quickly ran for the sideline to get out of bounds and stop the clock. That's good thinking on his part. They didn't have to waste a timeout, so they've got time to huddle up and regroup, and probably if they're going to throw the football, they're going to probably throw it away from Sean Wade because he covers a lot of the territory back there.
He does that indeed. He is a dandy, no question about it, because he is the young man that, of course, has done a great job. Coming into this game, Rache Waller had 7 interceptions, but it was Wade who came up with that big interception just a moment ago, and now they will call yet another timeout here. The football inside the 40 of Martinsville, but again, you can see the clock, just 1:09 remaining in this first half.
Apparently something in the alignment didn't suit Coach Beckelheimer because the clock was already stopped, and he's having to use a timeout with the clock stopped. So he knows this is a key possession, and he wants to make sure everybody, to use the cliche, is on the same page because he's planning on putting something on that board in this minute and 28 we have remaining. And,
of course, speaking of backyard brawls, there's one up in Charlottesville tomorrow, isn't there, my friend?
That it is. That it is. It looks like it's going to be, weather-wise, it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day as those teams vie for bragging rights, and the fans love nothing better than ride each other, or the winner loves it, and the loser just has to tough it out till next year.
That's right. So that's a big battle tomorrow, as there are so many big games, and that is one here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Cavaliers and the Hokies. All right, here we go. That's the quarterback, Hairston. Hairston looking, going to throw it long. Got a man out there, and guess what? Rache Waller just got his 8th interception of the season with a great job done there by Rache Waller, who, of course, quarterbacks the football team. We saw him with a big hit, and now we can get a chance to see him with an interception.
He plays it perfectly, and he's expecting the long pass. So he's already deep in that safety position. And once this ball is thrown, again, good defensive backs react to the football. There you go, as well as you can play it.
That's some pretty good camera work, isn't it, my friend?
We got some pretty good defensive backs on that field, and whoever coaches at Martinsville secondary does a tremendous job with them because they not only react to the football, but when they come up to make a tackle, they do it with authority, and that's what all defensive coaches love.
So there you have it, the interception. We're down, of course, inside of a minute remaining, and there's not much going. A penalty marker comes down as carrying that football was none other than Sean Wade, but he is corralled down pretty quickly, and the penalty marker back at the 20. It's a holding against the Bulldogs. No score in this one. Both teams have had some success, but the defenses have prevailed and have prevailed very, very nicely here. So that is why we don't have a score. Don't forget, you get an opportunity and you're in the Martinsville area, you'll want to stop by Willie and Ruth's, who are supporters of the Martinsville Bulldogs, locally owned, delicious down-home cooking, cozy atmosphere. They also have banquets and reunions. Remember, they're located at 6 Wall Street in Uptown Martinsville. Give them a call, 670-7500. Willie and Ruth's Place. Good people to do business with. All right, here goes a handoff, and driving out to about the 15-yard line are the Bulldogs. That was number 20, Dunbar. But, again, the clock continuing to run here inside of the 30-second mark remaining in this first half, and that may be just about it for this first half.
The way these two lines attack each other offensively and defensively, it's like a tug of war because there's such good big kids out there, and they really deliver the blow to each other, and it's sort of a stalemate except for the field goal.
All right, here we go. And there is, I think, nope, there's a timeout, believe it or not. They're getting a timeout just before the end of this first half, so how do you like that? We still have a little bit of time left here. There you can see 4 seconds remain, no score here at Dan Green Memorial Stadium. Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. A score is right. 3-0. We forgot that because we had the field goal after the interception by Sean Wade, and that's how we stand at 3-0. Don't forget, you get an opportunity. You'll want to stop by the Advance America locations in this area at South Boston, Danville, Martinsville, Roanoke, Salem, Vinton, Pulaski, and Christiansburg. Mrs. Latasha Carter and the staff of Advance America, glad to be a part of this game. All right, here we go with a situation down where this will probably be it. They taking the knee is Rache Waller. And so the first half here is history. A great crowd here at Dan Green Memorial Stadium. And it is the Martinsville Bulldogs 3 and the Magna Vista Warriors nothing. We will be back with more action right after we take this commercial timeout. And we are ready for the second half. The Magna Vista Warriors will be kicking it off to the Martinsville Bulldogs, and as soon as we get past this kickoff, we will update you on some of the stats from that first half. 3-0 the score. Martinsville with the lead. There's the kickoff coming down to the 5, out to the 10, 15, and not going to make it to the 20. Good coverage by the Magna Vista special teams. One of the first to meet him there, number 61, Stephen Trent. So the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 at the 18.
Let's talk about Martinsville first. Since they got the ball for this half, they had 4 first downs, no turnovers, but the big thing was 5 penalties for 35 yards. They ran 26 plays. Total offense, they only have 58 total yards offense. They had 2 big interceptions there by Rache Waller and Shane Wade, and they had the ball for 12 minutes on that first half. So, they really need to get something going on that offense. When they have the ball, and mix it up a little bit.
All right, so there you have it. The Bulldogs on first down get about a yard, and so it'll be 2nd and 9. The ball just shy of the 20-yard line, just underway here in the second half. The only scoring a field goal for Martinsville, and that's how the Bulldogs have a 3-0 lead. We'll get some info on Magna Vista when they go on the offensive side of the football as to what the Warriors did. Here's Rache Waller, the quarterback, going to throw it long. Got a man out there, and I think that's almost intercepted, but did the ball snap loose? That was number 10 doing the job, Alexei Hairston, and I guess it is an interception. So they were intending it for Sean Wade, and Hairston came up with that interception.
And we talked about Martinsville's defensive secondary. Well, that was quite a play also, as he timed the ball perfectly to bring it down. And this is the best starting field position of the night for Magna Vista. And as the stat man told us, they had 2 drives thwarted by interceptions. So they'd love to take this one and make a move and put a little pressure on the Bulldogs.
And we'll get, as soon as this play is completed, we will hear from the stat man. There is a handoff, and driving to about the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs are the Magna Vista Warriors. The carry there by Via, so it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Dave, we're looking at almost like last week where both teams are evenly. This Magna Vista first half, they had 4 first downs, but the big thing is those 3 turnovers. They ran 24 plays. Passing, they was 4 for 4 for 44 yards. They have total offense 75 yards, so neither team, has broke that 100-yard marker there.
Indeed, and defense playing a role right here after the Hairston interception. Magna Vista with a couple of runs, and that time Jumper carries the football, but BJ only gets about a yard, so now it's 3rd and 7, the ball at the Martinsville 40-yard line.
Keep in mind how good the Martinsville secondary is. Keep in mind the fact that you could probably see a little rush from those linebackers. Magna Vista does not want to turn it over here. They hope they got a special play in this situation that they can dig down and come up with, because they don't want to lose this field position.
So here we go with a 3rd and long. There's BJ Jumper, breaks one tackle, breaks another one, and drives for some good yardage. Good defensive play there by number 29, Gerald Bowen. But Jumper is just shy, it looks like, of the first down. So this will be bringing up a 4th down. And right now they want to take a timeout for a measurement. So as they measure this, we'll take a quick timeout and come back here. The score, the Martinsville Bulldogs 3. The Magna Vista Warriors, nothing. We're back right after this. Okay. Okay, buddy, you want to come back? Come on. And we are back here at Dan Green Stadium. Again, we want to remind you, remember the Uptown Beauty Salon, who root on the Bulldogs of Martinsville, designs by Gloria Dillard, competitive prices. Give them a call at 632-1417-24 Walnut Street, Uptown Martinsville. Great people to do business with, Uptown Beauty Salon. Here we go with a short play here and driving. Good effort there. I think that was Bucky Mann. Mann did not need much, only a foot or so, and it looks like he had enough thrust there to get that first down. Troy Burnett was there to bring him down, and give a lot of credit to that offensive line. Robert Penn, Tony Redd, Chris Shelton, Corey Robertson, Travis Broadhurst, and of course DJ Preston and Brian Taylor also in that offense that did a good job there. And now Magna Vista has new life, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line in Martinsville territory. There goes the handoff to Via. Via, man, he was licked in a sudden hurry there, coming up with a football, and running off with it was Troy Burnett. Burnett, my friends, is no shy violet either. 6'3", 250, a senior.
Take a listen to this, Dave. On the offensive front for the Warriors, there's only one senior. That's Robert Penn, number 69. The remaining linemen, Tony Redd, 6'2". Wait, check. Tony Redd is a senior. Robert Penn is a junior. Chris Shelton is a junior. Kerry Robertson is a junior, as is Travis Broadhurst. Travis is only 6'6", 280.
He got some growing to do, I tell you. Man alive. Here goes Hairston. Hairston to the 30. Hairston to the 25. Hairston to the 20, the 10, and knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line by Rache Waller.
And what is it other than misdirection? A great, great fake. A great fake by the quarterback, which made the play go. And, of course, we know that Rache
Waller did the job defensively, and, of course, Hairston did the job offensively.
And what made it go was a great fake that he made and running away from the flow. And there you see him hitting down that sideline.
And it was Rache Waller, his counterpart, who also, of course, plays defense, quarterback on offense, who stops him. But now they have a 1st and goal. There's a handoff to Via. Via going to be wrapped up as he gets to about the 3-yard line. One of the first to meet him there was number 20 for that Martinsville defense, Douglas Dunbar, and it will be a short gain. We'll give him about a yard. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. We are down inside of 7.5 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter.
I'm sure Coach Beckelheimer talked about that at halftime, saying, "Hey guys, we've shown them everything. We've always gone to the flow. We're going to have this misdirection right at the perfect time," and they caught the Bulldogs asleep.
There again is Via, and great job there by number 5, refusing to give ground for the Bulldogs. That's Jay Carter, and Carter stops him for another short gain, maybe of a half-yard or yard. So now it's 3rd and goal, a long 3 for the touchdown.
Do you realize how much these teams mirror each other? Because we saw Martinsville drive down and fight, and couldn't score a touchdown from inside the 10. Now we're seeing the same scenario. This is a very, very big 3rd down play. They're lining up in that straight eye, but don't be surprised to possibly see that quarterback keep it.
Oh, there we go. There's the handoff, driving, and that's Mann. Mann is right at the goal line, right at the goal line. I mean, he got as close as you can get. There you can see him. That's Bucky Mann, the 160-pound junior. And so the Warriors will probably, it looks like, go for this.
Man got so close, if he had stuck the ball out in front of him, he probably would have scored, because all the ball has to do is break the plane. He had it under his arm, and of course that's where he went down. But that's as close as you can be, Dave. You called that correctly, and it's going to be interesting to see if they turn around and hand that ball to a deep back or try to sneak it.
Well, Hairston's 6'1". That is jumper, and he is in. So the Warriors go in. No, that's Via. Via with a touchdown, as number 21 was able to get enough in there for the touchdown. And so the Magna Vista Warriors with a great drive, and they use up better than half of this quarter here. And now we'll try for point number 7. The kick is up, and it is good, as Kyle Zare hits that one, and so it is now 7-3.
You have to love that drive, and Magna Vista kept their cool even though they were behind. They kept their cool, came out, established something here. Now what that's going to do even more, their defense has played good, but they're going to be fired up a little bit more, because they know that they've held Martinsville to 3 points at this point of the game. They're ahead 7-3. You watch this defense go after them now.
All right, well, as the teams get ready for another kickoff, the score, Magna Vista 7, Martinsville 3. We're back right after this. Okay, buddy. And we are ready for the kickoff here. Zare, who made that extra point to give the Warriors the 7-3 lead after the touchdown by Brandon Via, will kick it off, and Martinsville will get the opportunity once again on offense. This has been a dandy of a football game. The winner continues on in state competition. The loser is done for the season. Here's the kick, and it will come down, and it looks like it will die out there at about the 10-yard line. Sean Wade had to pick that up because it did not go out of bounds, apparently, and they couldn't wait. So He has it, but it is down at the 10-yard line.
Let's give Magna Vista credit. They came out and played defense to start this second half. They held Martinsville. Then they got a big turnover right there, but they went 43 yards. They ran 10 plays, and like you said earlier, they used up around 5 minutes of the third quarter doing that. So give them credit.
Certainly did, and now they have taken the 7-3 lead, and the Bulldogs now are back well in their own territory at the 10-yard line. Rache Waller out of the shotgun, going to run with it, going to still run with it, gets great yardage and drives out across the 20 to the 23-yard line before Bucky Mann stops him, but a good gain by Rache Waller.
Let's mark that play down, because if the Warrior defense could have held Martinsville in the shadow of their own goal line and forced them to punt, they could have possibly gotten great field position and maybe had the opportunity to tack another score on, making it necessary for Martinsville to score twice to overcome them. But Rache took it in his own hands with a direct snap and just a sweep to the left.
I tell you what, that guy does everything for this ball club as well. We saw him with an interception, running the ball. That time carrying the football is number 9 for the Bulldogs. That's Maurice Hamilton. Garnes, the 205-pound linebacker, stops him, but to give him a pretty good gain on first down of close to 6 yards. Second down, we'll call it 4 for the first down. It is at the 30. The Martinsville Bulldogs and the Magna Vista Warriors here in this Group AA, Region 4, Division 4 playoff game. There is a handoff, and driving, ball pops loose, and Waller picks it up and gains yardage. That ball popped loose, and it still was a hot potato, but Rache Waller, apparently it had not been blown dead. So Waller very alertly picked it up and gained good yardage out close to the 35-yard line.
And Ernie Brad's taking a look, because he's going to have to get this mark and see exactly whether this is a first down or not. And that's good officiating, because a lot of people would have gone ahead and spotted it, but he took a look over there and said, let's measure this thing. That hot potato may have produced a first down.
It just may have. And as they measure this, we'll tell you about the good folks at First Federal Savings and Loan of Martinsville, supporters of the Bulldogs of Martinsville High. Remember, invest with the leaders. First Federal Savings and Loan of Martinsville. They have passbook savings, money market deposit accounts, mortgage and investment loans, and they're located at 25 West Church Street in Martinsville. Give them a call, 638-8771, member FDIC, First Federal Savings and Loan of Martinsville. So there you will see the ball is just shy of first down yardage, so it will be a situation for the Martinsville Bulldogs of third and very short again. Rache Waller and his Bulldog offense going to try and get something moving right here. 7-3 is the score. It was 3-0 at the half. Martinsville with a field goal, and Magna Vista getting the touchdown by Via and the extra point to lead 7-3. There's running room and getting more than enough for the first down. He's being knocked back. That's Sean Wade. That's money in the bank right there, as hitting him was Via, and also doing the job for the Warriors, number 8, Travis Flanagan. So it is a good gain and a first down. It's out to about the 37.5-yard line. Martinsville with the football, trying to answer the touchdown scored by Magna Vista High School. Here goes the handoff. Good running room, Wade. Wade to the 50. Wade going to keep driving all the way down to the 45-yard line. Sean Wade with good running room, and he gets another first down for Martinsville.
Don't you get the feeling that touchdown scored against them kind of made the Bulldogs mad, and they're coming out here with a vengeance now? And Wade, what can you say about that? I mean, he hits it up in there. It looks like he has nothing, and all of a sudden he makes something out of nothing. And then if the ball accidentally gets put on the ground, that's Waller to pick it up and gain some more yardage. But that combination is something else.
Well, when he averages 8.8 per carry this time, not much going, and I don't know. There was a fumble, and apparently the Warriors have recovered. So that ball popped loose, and somebody at the bottom of the pile for Magna Vista picks it up, and so it'll be a first down, and maybe we'll see how that popped loose for Magna Vista to recover the football here, and the Martinsville Bulldogs giving it up.
I think it probably popped loose as a result of some very good gang tackling. And when you got 2 or 3 people making that tackle, watch and see if they go for that football. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you see the arm pull. Oh, he lost it before then. He lost it a while ago.
And I think Tony Red was one of those that was yanking it out, and they got the football. Now the Warriors are in business as Via drives it to midfield.
You know, a special tribute to our crew, and they've done the job that they've done in providing those replays, because it really adds some insight as to what's happening. And sometimes not only do we appear to be confused, but sometimes we're confused, and that really helps us out.
It certainly does, because I tell you what, we didn't know exactly who had the football. Then it popped loose, and Magna Vista was able to fall on it, and they get a 3-yard gain on first down. So it's 2nd and 7, and they are at the midfield stripe. Here goes running room, and it's broken down. Give a lot of credit to number 5. He was not about to let loose of him. That's one of the good defensive backs, Jay Carter, for the Bulldogs, and they stopped Via for no gain. So now it's 3rd down and 7 for this Magna Vista football team at the midfield stripe, and an official's timeout just to get an equipment adjustment right now.
Last time when they made the big gain, they went with the misdirection bootleg, and the right side of the field was the wide side. This time the left side of the field, if they've got to play one way, they've probably got it the other. But, you know, again, it's a situation where they don't want to give the football up, so they want to come up with the right thing. But I see them lining up in the pure eye, so that probably takes a bootleg out.
Hairston is the quarterback, 3rd and long. He's going to look. He's going to look. He's going to throw. Got a man out there, and it is caught in full stride by number 9 for that tremendous reception, DJ Preston, and Preston will carry the football all the way down inside the 20-yard line to the 18. So Hairston was able to hit DJ Preston for that one, and it was an impressive quarterback throw and run, as we'll get a chance to see that one as Magna Vista does its job.
Well, watch Alexei as he comes out of there. He's a right-handed quarterback running to his left, but in throwing that ball, he did the most important thing. That's watch him get his shoulders square and let the thing go. And there you see it was just a perfectly executed play, and what better timing on 3rd and long.
So Preston makes the catch now on 1st down. Not much going there for the Magna Vista Warriors. In fact, they will lose a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 11, the ball at the 19-yard line in Martinsville territory.
I think it speaks highly of Magna Vista that we had already alluded to the fact that they lost to Martinsville earlier in the year. Do you know who the other loss was to?
The Eagles of George Washington of Danville.
That's keeping pretty good company.
You better believe it, and they're playing just down the road here, 30 miles away against Garfield. There is another no-gainer, as that defense did a great job, and looks like a penalty marker came out there. Number 76, Hamilton Walred, was there to stop him, as did not get back to the line of scrimmage, but there is a flag, and this will go against Magna Vista. And boy, I am sure Coach Beckelheimer not going to like that, because they had the football at the 19. This is going to move this thing all the way back close to the 35-yard line.
I missed Ernie's signal. Was that unsportsmanlike?
Personal foul.
Well, again, that sometimes comes in a heated rivalry, and it's the last thing you want to do. That's called losing your poise, and you don't want to lose it at that part of the field when you're ahead by 4 points playing on your opponent's home field when they have beaten you once during the year. You want to take advantage of every break you get, and those kind of penalties are very hard to overcome.
That it is. So now, here goes the quarterback. Hairston going to pass it, and Wade, almost playing receiver there, tried to get it out there to another one of his receivers, number 10, Alexei Hairston, trying to get it out there to number 40, and that is Dave Santo-Emma, but it is incomplete, so that'll bring on a long play with 4th down, and looks like they may want to decide to punt this football. We're down inside of a minute left in this 3rd quarter. 7-3 is the score, and they're going to try a field goal. And they're spotting this thing down at the 41-yard line. This is a 51-yarder. And now, let's see what's going to happen here as Magna Vista will call the timeout.
Coach Beckelheimer, I'm sure, knows the capabilities of his kicker. This could be a 51-yard field goal. Two things may occur here. One is the kid may have that kind of leg. Two, he may try to draw Martinsville off sides to get it a little closer for a field goal. And three, they may send a direct snap to him, and he may punt it without a safety man back to return it and try to pin him deep back there. But the thing about it is, if they try the field goal and miss it, remember, a field goal is just like a punt in that the defensive team can return it if they catch it.
So there you have it. Do want to mention to you also, don't forget, Netta Style by Design, supporters of the Martinsville Bulldogs, located at 38 Franklin Street in Uptown Martinsville. Walk-ins are welcome, appointments desired. Also, they stock a large supply of beauty and hair supplies. Licensed hairstylist, Netta Style by Design, 38 Franklin Street, Martinsville. Give them a call, 670-7882 for your appointment today. Now they will punt the football away, and getting it off is Carrington Dillon, and Dillon will punt this one, and I'm not sure if they were able to get that before it went into the end zone, and I think they did. Look at that. Look at where the Mark Hairston is. That football is down. I want to tell you, that Carrington Dillon, give him a lot of credit. He averages 37.5 yards per punt, but that special teams unit does a great job because it is downed at about the 1-yard line.
That's a term from your day, my man. That's a coffin corner kick.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, and that is something that you don't see much of anymore, but that one was perfectly done by Carrington Dillon.
Well, you can tell he practices it because he has his alignment and his steps and everything else, but Martinsville has to be careful here. They don't want a loss at this point.
Waller's going to throw it and throw it long, and my goodness, they get the completion. That was Ronte Gamble. Rache Waller out of his end zone throws it to Ronte Gamble, and Gamble makes the first down at the 25.
Watch Rache get hit right here, and he still gets enough on the football. And look at this guy. He goes between two receivers, and you're talking about dodging a bullet. Ronte Gamble gambled at the right time, and I guess you have to say he had a winning hand that time.
He certainly did.
Winning hands.
He did, because he caught that football, made a great catch because he was covered well there. I think the defensive back, and my gracious, B.J. Jumper stops Sean Wade basically in his tracks. So they will lose yardage now back to the 20-yard line, and we're down now as the third quarter is about to expire.
Well, give Gamble a lot of credit for the success of the pass, but on the other hand, don't forget Rache, because, I mean, Dave, he took a hit, probably the hardest hit I've seen of the game, and still had enough arm strength to get that so-called Hail Mary pass out there, and, boy, Coach Edwards relieved over that one.
He certainly is. Well, as the third quarter expires, it is now Magna Vista 7, Martinsville 3. From Dan Green Memorial Stadium, we'll be back with fourth quarter action right after we take this commercial timeout.
Yeah. I'm not kidding you. He's throwing like this, and this guy's hitting him right here. Look.
Yeah.
And he came off the God. He got that ball off high. That is a tremendous play, I'll tell you.
Okay, come on back here, buddy. I'll mention Willie and Roos again, okay? And as we are back here at Dan Green Stadium, about ready to start the fourth quarter, don't forget, remember Willie and Ruth's Place, proud supporters of the Martinsville Bulldogs. They're located at 6 Wall Street, Uptown Martinsville. Give them a call, 670-7500. Good eating, home cooking at Willie and Ruth's Place. All right, here we go. There's a pass play, and it is intercepted. It is intercepted. at the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown. Number 7, Bucky Mann came up with that interception, and just as the fourth quarter gets underway, a key interception by Bucky Mann. We'll get a chance to see it as quarterback Rache Waller threw that one up, and off to the races went Bucky Mann, and he goes in for the touchdown.
Watch the way Bucky plays this. He plays it perfectly. He sees the pass in the air, reacts, catches it, but watch him dance down these sidelines, makes a cut, gets a block right here, and then just determined to take it to that end zone. And that young man, you know, it's one way to describe him. He plays with a great deal of intensity, and I don't want to use a bad word for it, so I'll say he's got a lot of fortitude.
Exactly, I tell you. Well, Kyle Sayre kicks that extra point, and so it is 14 for the Magna Vista Warriors, 3 for the Martinsville Bulldogs. A quick touchdown there, and we will be back with more fourth quarter action here from Dan Green Stadium. As we say, Magna Vista leads this one 14-3.
Well, Martinsville has got to score twice to beat.
No.
I don't think they're doing it.
Okay, fellas.
If Martinsville wins, the game's here.
All right, we are back here at Dan Green Stadium, Magna Vista, with that touchdown, and it was none other than Bucky Mann intercepting it and going in for the touchdown. And the kickoff will come off of the foot of Kyle Sayre. Sayre gets this off. It is going to come down and be taken at about the 18 to the 20 and nowhere to go. Number 34 was not about to give ground. That was Byron Galloway, and he stops the gamble in his tracks at the 22-yard line.
We had mentioned earlier in the game that Magna Vista ordinarily threw about 8 passes a game during the season. Martinsville only 10. So right now at this point in the game, with 11 minutes and 11 seconds left, Martinsville's 2 scores behind. They've got to score twice to overtake this lead, whether it be a combination of touchdowns, field goals, or whatever. So actually it has to be touchdowns. So they've got to probably make wise use of the clock.
That they do. All right, here we go. There's Rache Waller. Waller going to look, going to throw, got a man out there, and almost intercepted. That was coverage over there by number 8, Travis Flanagan, and good penetration done by that defensive line of the Warriors.
That it is, and again, you got them in a situation now where you know they've got to throw the ball some. Your secondary becomes extra alert. Your linebackers get active, put a little rush on, and the main thing that you cannot do is give up a big running play.
Yeah, you talk about field position and turnovers, and that's the worst thing Martinsville's done this half. They started on a 19-yard line, had an interception. They started on their own 10-yard line and a fumble. And then they started on their own 1-yard line and had an interception for an interception return. So that's the main thing right now. Those turnovers are what's killing them.
Certainly are. All right, here we go. This will be a pass and almost intercepted this time by Hairston. It is incomplete. They were intending it over there for DeShazo, but it is incomplete. And now things are really getting into a bad mix, so to speak, for the Martinsville Bulldogs.
Well, the offense is panicking a little bit. That play I thought was a screen play because there was such a tremendous rush. I was expecting them to drop it off and see about 4 linemen in front of one of the backs, but it was thrown to DeShazo right in the middle of the field, but he didn't have any blockers in front of him.
That's right. So now they will have to look for some yardage on 3rd and 10. They've made some of them, and that one was almost picked off again, this time by Derek Thomas. It was intended over there for number 8 for the Bulldogs of Martinsville. That's Ronte Gamble, but it is incomplete, and now it's 4th down, and the Bulldogs will have to punt the football away.
And rest you sure of one thing, when Magna Vista gets a hold of this ball and handles the punt and puts the ball in play, you won't see the football in the air because they're going to work that clock. They're going to try to grind it, and they're going to just try to eat up as much as possible, and they got the kind of team that with the right plays can make it very hard on the Bulldogs.
And they're going to get great field position because the punt is down at the 46-yard line. So the Bulldogs of Martinsville are in business. 1st and 10. I should say the Warriors are in business. 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 46-yard line.
If they can knock 5 minutes off the clock, that would take it down to 6 minutes and something.
That's right, and that's that then would be a tremendous hill to climb for the Martinsville Bulldogs. Don't forget, if you get an opportunity, Advance America, many locations in this area, including South Boston, Danville, Martinsville, and here in the Martinsville area, stop by and see Mrs. Latasha Carter and the staff of Advance America. Here we go with a 1st and 10. The ball at the 46. There is a hit of mammoth proportions. Brandon Vaya got absolutely nailed, and I think it was Maurice Hamilton, who is a whale of a football player for the Bulldogs. He stops him for a short gain, a gain of 1. It's 2nd and 9 at the 45.
That wasn't a hit, that was a collision. I'm telling you, that was, you know, we keep saying this hit is the hardest hit of the night, or that hit, but, you know, measuring these things would need a Richter scale probably.
I tell you what, he knew he was hit, did Mr. Vaya. Vaya carries it again. Good job done by that Bulldog defense, as Bowen, Gerald Bowen, who is one of the leading tacklers, had 118 coming into this game, has well over 120, stops the ball carrier for a short gain at the 43, so it'll be 3rd and about 6 for the first down for the Magna Vista Warriors.
Well, they need to stay in that huddle at full allotted time, and if they don't pick up a first down this time, you're going to see Carrington Dillon come in and try to do what he does best, and that's pin the Bulldogs deep in their territory, but don't count them out of making a first down here.
There goes the hand, or no. Hairston has it, going to throw, got a man out there. It is incomplete, intended it over there for number 84, Brian Taylor, but some good coverage on that defense. Number 30 did a nice job. That's Scott Oliver, and so it is incomplete, and it will be 4th down for the Magna Vista Warriors.
I bet Coach Beckelheimer's heart jumped a beat that time, because they threw that ball right out to the side in the vicinity of none other than 34. And Sean Wade, we know what he can do on defense, and I thought that one might be heading the other way.
But for the Magna Vista Warriors, they dodged the bullet, and now Dillon, who is a fine punter, gets this one off, and it will be taken at about the 12 and going nowhere. Nowhere at all is Wade, and number 4, Derek Thomas, was right there to stop him, and I mean he hit him in a sudden hurry. And so Wade carries it out to the 14-yard line. Once again, they're pinned back deep. And, of course, with about 9.5 minutes left, the Martinsville Bulldogs will take over, trailing in this one 14-3. As the Bulldogs come up here to the line of scrimmage, they need to get something moving, and moving very quickly. Here goes a snap. There's a handoff. There's running room. Good running room to the 25 and out close to the 28-yard line. That was a carry by Douglas Dunbar, and Dunbar gains nice yardage before he is ridden down. One of the first to meet him was Vaya, and then he was finished off by Bucky Mann, but give him good yardage, and it will be 1st and 10.
One thing you can be assured of, every effort will be made by these Bulldogs, because there's no quit in a Bulldog, and Coach Edwards is saying, hey gang, it's not too late, let's just get one before we worry about getting that second one, but we got to get the first one first.
That's what they have to do, because you've got to do first things first, and Rache Waller going to try and get something going here. He stumbles, and now he throws it deep and way overshooting the mark. Good coverage by Hairston, and that time it never got really the way it wanted to go, intending it for Wade, so it's incomplete, and this will be on a 2nd and 10.
Your chances of throwing something long at this point can't be good, because that secondary is going to be dropped back. They'll give you something in front of them, but they're not going to give you anything behind them. But when the ball's thrown up for grabs like that, sometimes the wrong team comes up with it. So they've got to be a little more patient and maybe throw a shorter route, and with the secondary deep, have the receiver advance the football by running it rather than by throwing it so far.
So now it will be a 2nd and 10. The football just shy of the 30-yard line in Bulldog territory. The Martinsville football team with the football. It comes to Rache Waller, and he's going to be pressured quickly, but Wade makes the catch to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50-yard line, and finally riding him down was number 5, Ron Foster, but a great job done as Rache Waller was able to find Sean Wade, and Wade does the rest.
And you know what that was, Dave? That was a screen pass, perfectly executed as the back dropped off to the side. Once he caught it, he had about 4 linemen in front of him. Because of the fact that the secondary was run off by the receivers, it took them a long time to react up. So that's the exact kind of play that works well in these situations, and it's running with the football after you catch it.
So he's done the job and gets it at close to midfield here with the football, and throwing it as Waller got his man, got him caught. He's knocked down by Foster again, but the ball is caught by number 9 over there. That's Maurice Hamilton. And Hamilton gets good yardage, and he drives it out inside the 45-yard line.
And the clock is stopped, and it appears to me that he made the out of bounds. I thought someone was injured at first, but he got the ball out of bounds. And that's very important, is in fact that the clock is stopped.
And it looks like Foster was a little shaken up over there.
Yeah, Coach, that's it. He didn't make out of bounds, so it does have an injured player over there.
All right, so as they attend to that injured player, we'll take a quick timeout with a score. The Magna Vista Warriors 14, Martinsville 3. We're back right after this.
Number 5.
It looks like he had a cramp.
That's Foster.
Ron Foster. Okay. You see how I quickly bet the name and got it out there?
You are down.
All right, here we are back to action. This is Rache Waller. Waller to the 40, to the 30. Look at that high jump. 10, 5, touchdown. Wow. Rache Waller, and he hurdled a player at about the 30-yard line.
It's hard to describe just what a good run that was, but I'm sure we'll see it again and see the last effort that he made. But you see Coach Edwards holding up 2 now. If they got to go for 2, therefore if they get to 2, they could tie it with the field goal. But take a look at this. Take a look at this move here. I'm telling you, that is just pure determination. We said a minute ago there's no quit in a Bulldog. That proves us to be prophets.
That is because he was able to hurdle over Bucky Mann and go in. The Bulldogs will call a timeout, and we'll keep it right here. And while we have an opportunity, we'll tell you about, again, the fine folks at First Federal Savings and Loan of Martinsville, who are proud supporters of the Bulldogs. Invest with the leaders. First Federal Savings and Loan, passbook savings, money market deposit accounts, mortgage and investment loans, 25 West Church Street in Martinsville. Give them a call, 638-8771, member FDIC. Good people to do business with. And also, don't forget the fine folks at Uptown Beauty Supply, located at 24 Walnut Street, Uptown, Martinsville. Good people to do business with. Call them for an appointment at 632-1417. All right. We are going to try now with the extra point situation. The score here is now 14-9.
And if they don't, if they're not successful here with a 2-pointer, it means they'll have to score a touchdown to take the lead.
That's right, because the field goal will not do them a lot of good. Here, and now a penalty marker will come down, as it looked like either somebody got over anxious there.
Yeah, I think they were going to the long count again, and any time you go for 2 and you're going to run the football, if you can draw the team off sides, that takes the ball down, and that's exactly what they did with the long count. So instead of having it 3 yards to go, that takes it down to 1.5, and your percentages for making it go up with the penalty.
So now it is 1.5 to go. It is 14-9. They would like to make this 2-pointer to make it 14-11, and then a field goal can tie it. Let's see what happens. Under center, Rache Waller. Waller going to hand it, going to drive in. Douglas Dunbar got it. Dunbar gets the 2-point conversion. So just like that, it is 14-11. on the touchdown run by Rache Waller and the two-point conversion by Douglas Dunbar.
And Douglas Dunbar was not to be denied because he was hit on about the 1 yard line. He used his upper body and gave a surge with those legs and drove the defender back into the end zone.
So Dunbar gets the two-point conversion. There you can see the Martinsville coaching staff talking to the Bulldogs saying, okay, fellas, it's time for us to get it together. Joe Beckelheimer, the coach of the Magna Vista Warriors, trying to get his troops ready. A great crowd here tonight, and that's the one thing we have to mention. We have had throughout this season tremendous crowds where we've gone, whether it be at Salem, over at Franklin County, in Danville, wherever, and it's great to see the many fans of high school football.
Well, Martinsville that time, he went 87 yards, and they ran 5 plays, but the big key right there, they used less than 2 minutes off that clock. So now they're in good shape with that two-point conversion to either kick a field goal or take a lead.
So we will see what happens. Now it will be up to the Magna Vista Warriors to answer the call. And the score here was 3-0 at the half in favor of the Martinsville Bulldogs on a field goal. Magna Vista came back with a Brandon Via touchdown to make it 7-3. Then the interception by Mann made it 14-3, and now the touchdown and two-point conversion. There's a ball, and it's going to be downed all the way back at the 9-yard line. Ron Foster had to fall on that ball back at the 10-yard line, and actually just inside it at the 9. So it'll be first and, or no, it's at the 14-yard line. So glad to get the hand signals as we have it 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line for the Magna Vista Warriors. And of course they lead this game 14-11, but now they don't have much room for any kind of problems down in this end of the field.
They're no longer in the comfort zone, let's put it that way.
There goes the running back, and that's Jumper. As a flag comes down, Jumper got out to some good yardage, but let's see what the penalty marker is. It is holding against the Warriors, and that makes things going from bad to worse.
Oh, you talk about an inappropriate play at a bad time. It was very important for the Warriors to make a first down, to get some decent field position, and to knock some time off that clock. But this holding penalty, it's going to limit their play calling so much that Martinsville defense is going to be able to gang up on them, and they just have to be so careful and hold on to the football, try to grind out a first down. But I don't think you'll see anything fancy.
No, you will not. The football now is all the way back inside the 10-yard line at about the 8-yard line. So it is now a first down, and it is a 1st and 17. And, of course, the clock now a factor as we're getting down toward the 7-minute mark. Here's a handoff, and that's not going to be much at all. Brandon Via with the carry. He was met nicely by that defense led by number 22, Andre Hairston. And be a short gain of a yard. It's 2nd and 16. And by the time they snap this one, we will be inside of 7 minutes left in this game with a score in favor of Magna Vista, 14-11.
This is tough play calling here because you have to be so careful not to give the defense an advantage. You want to match up with them. I was going to look to see if the linemen were going to spread it out a little bit and try to create some splits, but it's just strictly in there. And
there's a pass play. It was intended as the quarterback Hairston tried to get it to Foster, but it's incomplete. And now it's 3rd and 16 with 6.5 minutes, and it is a key play right here because, again, you don't want to turn it over, but at the same time, you want to try and get some positive yardage.
Well, if you're forced to punt the ball, number one, there's a chance that it could be blocked. Number two is they could get great field position, and with Martinsville's field goal situation, there's almost a given that they could get good enough field position to possibly kick a field goal. So Coach Beckelheimer might even be thinking in terms of taking a safety down here to give his punter some room to kick it out, even though he'd be giving up 2 points.
Well, let's see. He's going to throw it. He's got a man, and it's caught, but he's not going to get the first down. It was caught out there by number 10, or I should say Hairston, throwing that ball and was able to complete it, but it is shy of the first down as he was able to hit Dave Santo Emma.
Yeah, but that's a very big play because now they're not punting from the shadows of their goal line, and all those other scenarios go out the window because they've got to find punter in Carrington Dillon, and it's his job to deliver his best punt of the night. He just does not want to outkick his coverage because there's some speed back there waiting to receive it.
So that will be the case as Carrington Dillon, who's done a great job punting tonight, gets off a pretty good one. It will come down to Wade at the 50, and Wade is wrapped up and loses yardage all the way back to the 42-yard line, and that was Ron Foster, who did a great job of covering it. Foster's done a fine job both offensively and defensively for the Magna Vista Warriors, and he came up with a big play right there. A fine punt by Dillon, great coverage by the Warriors, led by Ron Foster, and now the Bulldogs take over 1st and 10 at their 44.
Foster plays every play of the football game just as if it's the most important play. He's the kind of kid that you just love to have on your team because that effort is there each and every time.
So now they will go do the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, that's Waller, and he's wrapped up. Boy, 72, Corey Robertson does a nice job of bringing him down. They will get it to the 45. It's a gain of 1. It is 2nd and 9. Of course, time is of the essence here, and we are pleased to be here in Martinsville. Remember some of the fine folks, such as Uptown Beauty Salon, among others. Willie and Ruth's Great Place to Eat, locally owned and operated at 6 Wall Street, Uptown Martinsville.
I bet you that's a great place to eat, but when I look at that name, I think of it being a college.
That's right, Willie and Ruth's. All right, here we go with a 2nd and 9. This is the quarterback, Waller. Got a man, got him, and completes it. Number 34 with a reception. That's Sean Wade, and Wade goes by the WDRL sign, and he doesn't want to give that football up at the 10-yard line. And it is a 1st down yardage for the Martinsville Bulldogs.
Dave, I was watching the play with field glasses here, and after the play, the defensive back, I didn't get the number, he pushed him up against the fence. So Mark Harrison, that official, threw the flag on it, and it was a good call.
So now the football goes from inside the 45, and it'll move inside the 30 at the 29-yard line in Magna Vista territory.
And again, we've got to come back to our famous term that we've been using all year. You've got to play hard, but you've got to play smart, and that's not real smart.
Indeed it isn't, because that football would have been back at the 44. Now it's at the 29, and an official timeout here as they will get things straightened out, change that ball. The ball is at the 29-yard line. 5.5 minutes remaining in this one, and it is a 14-11 game in favor of the Magna Vista Warriors.
Well, let's watch Rache Waller and Sean Wade and what they can do. Of course, Dunbar has done his job tonight too, but Wade and Waller have led the way, and the defense has been led by Ron Foster. So we're going to get down to a real battle here of who's able to force a turnover or who's able to pick up a big run, good yardage.
That's Wade with a carry. He is met first by number 4, Derek Thomas. Give him a couple on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. And, of course, as we say, time is moving along as we get down close to the 5-minute mark.
Right now you're looking at about a 42-yard field goal. If they gain no more yardage, you're looking at a 42-yarder. And, again, we don't know the range of the field goal kicker, but a field goal will, of course, tie it up.
All right, there is Waller, and he's going to be sacked. Waller was met by, guess who, number 5, Ron Foster, and I mean, he corralled Mr. Waller and drops him all the way back to the 31-yard line. A great job by Ron Foster, who has played a magnificent game defensively for Coach Joe Beckelheimer's Magna Vista Warriors.
He's as good as any linebacker I've seen all year, and that includes all divisions. He can play the game, and you're talking about a big play at a big time. Now they've got to look for Rache rolling out and getting rid of that football. He's definitely going to put it in the air here.
Here goes Waller. He's got time. Now it's closing down on him. Still going to look, still going to throw. Got a man, and it was in and out of the hands, incomplete. He tried to sneak it in there to Wade, but good defensive coverage by the Warriors, so it is incomplete.
Coach Edwards has got a decision here. Being at the point of the field that he's at, if he punts the ball, it'll more than likely go in the end zone unless he's got a great pooch punter. But if he has a great pooch punter, he may want him to kick it on down there, knowing that Magna Vista won't try anything fancy. But when you're on the 31-yard line, it's kind of hard to punt because you feel like you're giving the opponent the opportunity to take that ball and keep it for 4 minutes and beat you. Especially, too, if you do punt it and it happens to go in the end zone, it only is about a 10 or 11-yard difference. So they're going to go for it, and here is the all-important play on fourth down. Rache Waller. Rache Waller going to throw, got a man, and almost knocked down by number 7 man, and then almost into the hands of number 8 for that Bulldog ball club, Ronte Gamble, but it's incomplete, and the football will go over to Magna Vista. And Magna Vista did a great job of applying pressure. Rache could not get set to throw the football. In fact, he was leaning backwards as he threw it, couldn't get anything on it, and that's just great defensive line play, as well as those linebackers. A couple of them were coming, and that's the best defense in the world against the passes when you can get pressure on that quarterback. Well, there's going to be a timeout here as Magna Vista wants to talk it over, and so as they talk things over, we will take a timeout as well. With a score here, Magna Vista 14, Martinsville 11. We're back right after this. All right, here we go. Magna Vista with a football. There's running room crossing the 35 to the 36 is Brandon Vi. He's met there by Sean Wade, Troy Burnett, among others, and so it'll be a nice gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down and 6, the ball at the 36, and of course now the clock inside of 3:40. And Coach Beckelheimer comes in with a fresh back. Brandon Vire hadn't run the football that much tonight, so he's somewhat fresh, and boom, he knocks off some pretty good yardage. Here goes the handoff. There again is Via. Via will drive to about the 39-yard line. Again, what they want to do is hold on to this football for as long as they can. They would like to get a first down, and they will come up now with 3rd down and about 3. And they can keep the ball, and so they don't have to snap it till it's less than 3 minutes left in the ball game. So now, Magna Vista, with Hairston at the controls, trying to hang on and move on in the Group AA playoffs. Remember, these two teams met earlier. Martinsville wins that one 16-7. But right now, in control are the Warriors. And look at that. Great effort as they drive across the 40 down to about the 43-yard line. And a fine carry there by Brandon Via. And Via gets that first down. Where's he been all night? Well, he's got a touchdown. He has played and, of course, has gotten an opportunity to carry that football. But they will use... Aside from Via, they also use Bucky Mann in there, and B.J. Jumper, of course, is the guy that came into this game just under 1,000 yards, and you also see Justin Garnes. So they have moved the football now to 1st down yardage, and, of course, the clock running down to about 2:20. There's Via again. Via positive yardage to the 45, and now it will be a 2nd and about 7. So there is a timeout here as driving and getting some pretty good yardage there are the Magna Vista Warriors, and so they will call a timeout, and we will have our final timeout as well with the score 14 for the Magna Vista Warriors, 11 for Martinsville High. We're back right after this.
Okay, Lace. And we come back here again. Our thanks to our many sponsors, but especially the good folks at Advance America, Latasha Carter and her crew, Netta's Style by Design, Willie and Ruth's, the First Federal Savings and Loan of Martinsville, and Uptown Beauty Salon. Here goes running room. Hairston does a smart thing and stays in bounds. Only gets a couple of yards, but what he did was get yardage. And as he gains that yardage, the Bulldogs have to use another timeout because they're down to the 2-minute mark. And they need to get the football back. But at this point, it becomes increasingly difficult having to use those timeouts because, remember, the Magna Vista Warriors have an excellent weapon in their fine punter, Carrington Dillon.
That they do, and they played on this drive. They played very, very well because of the fact that they picked up the initial first down. And one thing, when Vi carried that ball 3 straight times, one impressive thing, not only his running, but the fact that he covered the football with both hands and protected it because he knows there are going to be some hands coming after it. And the same thing will hold true on this play. Whoever runs this football this time, cover the ball because they're going to be coming after you.
And one thing I do want to mention while I'm thinking about it, throughout this season, of course, we've had such a great crew here at the games and all, but I do have to also send kudos back to Shane Marshall, who's done a phenomenal job of running things back in the control room, and we want to thank him for a tremendous job and job done well, as has been the case with our crew all season long, and we look forward to winding down towards state championship time. All right, there's a handoff and nothing doing. That time gets back to the line of scrimmage, if that, as Via carries the ball. But again, they're not concerned with that because the clock continues to run. It is 4th down, and that will mean that Carrington Dillon will try and get this thing off. And what he wants to do is use that clock, get off a good punt, and leave as little time as possible for the Bulldogs.
And they want to make sure they've got everybody out on that field blocking for him because they'll probably be coming after it.
There's Dillon, and he gets a beauty off. It's inside the 20. It's bobbled back there and fallen on by number 8 for the Martinsville Bulldogs, Ronte Gamble. And he has to fall on it, but give a lot of credit to Carrington Dillon because he got that one off beautifully. It was inside the 20, sort of knuckleballing on Gamble. He finally couldn't hold on to it and then alertly fell on it back at the 15.
Actually, it's about the 13, Dave, and that means that the Bulldogs are 87 yards away from the promised land with 1 minute and 26 seconds remaining. And probably, I know that they've used 2 timeouts. They may have 1 timeout remaining.
I'm not even sure of that because they're in a situation now where it looks like they don't have a timeout left. So that makes it difficult. Here goes Rache Waller. Waller going to throw it long, up for grabs, almost hauled in by Gamble, but it is incomplete, and that'll bring on 2nd down.
Rache had some company back there that time. He was actually hit from the side by 2 different defenders, and they're not going to let him sit back there and pick them apart, which is good defense. How many teams have you seen go into that prevent defense where there's no rush and it prevents them from winning?
That's right, because that is exactly what happens so many, many times. You see that, and you see it on the college and professional level. And right now, the Bulldogs of Martinsville trying to keep their season going. Magna Vista trying to pick up a victory here to move on to meet the winner of the Marion Richlands game. Here goes Rache Waller. He's going to air it out, and in and out of the hands of Ronte Gamble. Back there on the defensive coverage for that ball club from Magna Vista was number 8, Travis Flanagan, and that will be now a situation of 3rd and 10, and of course the clock now down around the 1:10 mark.
How do you like this as a reward? If Magna Vista wins tonight, they get the reward of traveling either to Marion or Richlands.
And that's that's what you call a haul, ladies and G's. I'll tell you that right now. No question about it. All right, here we go. Big 3rd down for the Bulldogs. Rache Waller wants to get the 1st down, and that time Gamble fell, and as he fell with Hairston on him, it'll be a 4th down. And that's a situation where if they don't make the 1st down, it goes over to the Warriors, and all they have to do is kneel down a couple of times, and they will wrap up a victory and move on in the Group AA playoffs.
We said at the early in the broadcast that in a situation like this, when you're matched up with your most bitter rival and you beat them during the year and you have to play them again in those playoffs, they just have a slight mental advantage over you. And Magna Vista has refused to give up at any time tonight, and they've got themselves in good position if they can convert on one more play.
Here goes. Oh, and there is a ball that's going to be loose. It's incomplete. His arm was going forward, and guess who that was? B.J. Jumper. I mean, B.J. Jumper, who has almost 1,000 yards rushing this year, shows he can play a little bit of defense, too, as he just lassoed and knocked down Rache Waller as he tried to pass. It was incomplete. So now Magna Vista will call a timeout to just get things in order here and make sure they don't make any mistakes.
Well, right now, looking at it from an entirely different standpoint, what a great victory this is going to be for Magna Vista. On the other hand, there are 2 guys up in the stand that have been extremely nervous all night, wondering about the outcome of the game and hoping that nobody gets hurt. And that's Kevin Johnson, the basketball coach at Magna Vista, and Troy Wells, the basketball coach at Martinsville, because it's basketball season is right around the corner, and should the Bulldogs lose, Coach Wells is going to have those players, and they've gotten through without injuries, it seems like, and I'm sure Coach Johnson has a lot on the team, but he wants those guys to keep going and set a winning attitude for football by going ahead and winning the state, and then that gives them a goal to shoot at in basketball.
So there you have it, and again we can see the Magna Vista Warriors getting the opportunity. There is Hairston, who's just going to kneel down, and as I say, he has to do that maybe another time, and that will be it. And as always, again, we do want to thank all of our great sponsors, the fine folks at NBC Bank, along with Aztec Rental, J.D. Byrider, and Kroger Crunch, and also those here in this Martinsville area, the First Federal Savings and Loan of Martinsville, Uptown Beauty Salon, of course, Advance America. Stop in and see Mrs. Latasha Carter, George Mize, and the Nelson Dodge Honda here in Martinsville. Willie and Roos Place, great food, no question about it, and Netta's Style by Design. Our thanks to all of them. And here, as you can see the clock running down, this will probably be it. There's the kneel down, and that will do it, as the Magna Vista Warriors are going to hang on here and win this Group AA Region 4 playoff game. There you can see the clock winding down. The victory is in the hopper. It was 3-0 at the half in favor of the Bulldogs. Then coming back and roaring back were the Magna Vista Warriors. It was 14-3, but then the touchdown by the Bulldogs, the 2-point conversion, narrowed it to 14-11, and some other heroics going on here. But when all was said and done, the victory goes to Magna Vista as they move on to Group AA play. That wraps this one up. Again, our thanks to all our sponsors. We look forward to being again with you in playoff activity. The final here tonight, Martinsville loses to Magna Vista 14-11. For Don Lee and the stat man Jerry